All right, welcome back to the Two Stroke Turbo channel, where everything we do is about cars. No, not really. Sometimes we do house projects too. So we live in an old house. We put a lot of work, fixed it up. It's a 1914 Craftsman bungalow, and it's old. And it's hot these days. It's 100 degrees last couple days. And this is our attic fan. We have a whole house attic fan, I guess you'd call it, or an attic fan. And I noticed it wasn't working. There's my beautiful wife doing the responsible thing of doing the what do you have? Compost. We compost. So sorry to be distracted. So it's been hot, and I noticed that our air conditioning is not working like it should, and I realized that the attic fan isn't working anymore. This is a 4.3 amp motor, Brown or Newtone. It's designed to be a fan motor. It has a 1/2-inch shaft. The propeller or the fan blade has a set screw that goes onto the shaft that has a flat edge on it. I got a new motor. It's also a 4.3 and 120 volt, of course. And this is the old, they call it a fire stat, which is your temperature control and also your humidity control. You have two little dials in there, and it also has a little thing that if it senses fire, I think it shuts off. I don't know which part has gone bad. I just know it doesn't work. I suspect that the motor is bad. I was able to procure a new motor, same amperage, $75 I believe, and then another $28 for a new FireStat temperature control. This one doesn't have humidity, just a thermostat. And the way this works is it senses the temperature in the attic. When it gets to a preset temperature, let's say 120, it kicks the fan on. So it sends this, you wire it to this box. The box has a set of contacts, turns on the motor, and the motor then turns the fan on. So I've been trying to switch over the guts. This fan blade is stuck on the shaft. I'm going to take it off, and we're going to go up on the roof, and I'll show you how it all works. I had to wait for the sun to go down because it's so blazing hot. We have a gray roof. You can't see it, but it's gray, and it's just smoking hot up there. I can feel the heat coming out of the attic, and I'm really looking forward to getting this fan back in to see if it's cooler upstairs, especially. Draw all the heat out of the house, especially in the evening hours. It's probably 85 degrees out now, but it was 100 today, and I know in the attic it's 140, 180. I had this one turned on. This one would come on at 180, and it would run for about 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 at night, so about 4 hours every day when it was this hot. Okay, so I'm going to tap this fan blade off. I've got to get a socket or something in here to tap on the shaft to get this loose, and I've been soaking with penetrating oil. Used a little socket as a press, put the socket in on the shaft there, and tapped with my little tap hammer here like that while I was holding the blade as like a support, and I was able to get the fan blade to come off. It just takes a while. It was really stuck on there. So it looks like we have a usable fan blade. This is up, and you want to make sure that all the blades are symmetrical. It's not wobbly or cause vibration. We'll get into that in just a minute. Got the fan blade off. Now we got to get the motor support off and the metal cladding to go into the new box. This little bracket here lines up with the electrical. Are you going to help me? Are you going to help me? What are you doing? Oh, you're just going to get in the way. Need to be pet. Silly. All right, it's a little breezy up here. Sun's gone down. I'm standing on top of my roof. We're putting the fan into the fan housing. I left the wires exposed, and I forgot to turn the power off, so we've got to do that. So let's just take in the view one more time. Sun going down. You can see all the way into Washington State. And if I pan around this direction, we are looking straight at Mount Hood, right about there. It's hard to see. Not much snow left on the old girl. really awesome up here. Okay, let's get back to work on the fan. Let's shut the power off. Okay, so we got the last screw out of all the covers. This is what it looks like. Oh, heat coming out of there. Holy cow. It's just hot air venting. So yeah, got to turn the power off and then got to put the fan in the hole. I'm going to set the thermostat to 120. That's about all I can do. It's the maximum it can go. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that should be good. I mean, it's like 120 coming out of there right now. Woo, that's hot. Okay, so we got the power off. All the women folk in my family are not happy with me. It's dark and they can't watch their movies. So I got it wired up to the thermostat, fire stat. You got to tuck your wires in carefully. Don't forget the ground on the base. I just screwed it to the roof. Here's an outside shot. I'm going to put the fan assembly right on top. So if I ever need to change the temperature, I can just turn the fan off and adjust the temperature. So the little box goes on next. And it goes the other way. It goes this way, I think. Yeah, goes like that. So we'll hook that up and then put the fan in. Okay, so our fan is mounted up. Our controller is just below it there. Nothing hits. You need to make sure that your fan blade spins smoothly. Check it on all sides. Make sure it doesn't have any wobbles to it. The hub is straight. Fan blades are all equal. Otherwise, you're going to get a vibration. It'll drive you nuts. Ask me how I know that. Okay, now we got to turn our power back on. Make everybody happy. Back up on the roof, power's on, and of course it's not warm enough for the fan to kick on. I've got it set to 120 degrees, and it's probably 90 out. Still a lot of warm air, not as much coming out of here. I'll try tomorrow when it's 100 degrees to test it. I've got my blade balanced. Took a lot of time to try to figure out which blades are bent. Tried to bend them back, and should keep the house a lot cooler. Sunset is so pretty. Look at that. One of the things that I thought about improving is putting rubber bushings between the fan assembly and the housing if there's any vibration. This used to vibrate pretty bad. You could feel it in the house. It would shake the burners on the stove. So if that happens again, I'm going to make some rubber washers between the points where it attaches to the house to give it a little vibration dampening. So I'm excited to try this out, see if it keeps our upstairs cooler. Our upstairs was really hot. Air conditioning was working like crazy and it just was not cooling off. And just as earlier, I could feel 150 degree air coming out of here just after dark. Dude's moped's on fire. Oh, his tire is flat. Wow, it just smells like burnt rubber. Oh, not going very far. So hot, isn't it? It's the next day. I'm petting my hot dog. Just got home from work and I'm really excited to go up on the roof and see if the fan's working. My wife thinks I'm crazy. It's humid. And I think it's about 90, 95. So let's just see. Oh, I think I hear it. I can hear it working. Oh yeah, it's there blowing away. That's awesome. I can smell it. I can smell our attic from here. Woo, is that hot? It's hot air coming out of the attic. That's awesome. It's working. Yay. Now I just have to put the cover on. That cover, I wish I didn't have to put it on. It's a rain shield. Doesn't seem like it's vibrating too much, and it is. I can feel it on my knees, 5 feet away. It is blowing out a lot. It'll probably decrease CFM when I put the cover on. Still may put rubber bushings on there to kind of dampen it a little bit. I can feel the vibration in the roof underneath my feet, but that's working great. Oh man, it's that hot. Okay, I'm back on the roof again. It's cool in the morning, so the fan is not on. And I decided I'm going to make some rubber spacers to space between the fan mounting and the housing to see if I can dampen the vibrations. It's not too bad. We slept last night right underneath the fan in our upstairs bedroom. So much cooler, at least 8 degrees cooler. It got down to 77 last night, which is a record high low. It usually gets down in the 60s, but you could hear the fan. I mean, you had to listen for it, but you could feel the fan and hear the fan whirring. It's not out of balance. It's just you can hear the fan working. And I'm going to make these are some sort of rubber, like a garage door seal. And I'm taking my tin snips and I'm making these little rubber spacers. And I just loosened up the bolt between the outside of the fan housing and the fan bracket. I'm going to slide these down like little alignment shims, like right down in here, like that, to make a rubber cushiony pad and see if that helps. It's kind of dense rubber, so I don't know if it will, but I think anything's better than nothing. And if I can get just the vibration off the roof, I think that'll make a big difference. So we're going to try this out. While I was up here, I thought I'd go one step a little further. I put in a little longer screw so that I could push with my ratchet on the screw, which then pushes the bracket, and then slid 2 of those rubber spacers down in there just to give it a little extra cushion. And I think it's going to work. I can kind of feel the fan not wobble, but it's firm but not vibrating. Like if I tap on this now, it doesn't echo. So that's all I'm looking for, is keep the echo down. So this is pretty great. I am super impressed with how well this fan worked. Now granted, I haven't put the lid on to cut down some of the efficiency a little bit, but it's remarkable how much cooler that made the upstairs of the house. It's impressive. It made it from not being able to sleep to being able to sleep. Let's put it that way. That's big.